What ho chaps, how the devil? Being YouTube's premier loather of all things BBC, I thought I'd better cover the presidential debate from last night. I'm sure some of you watched it. Nothing particularly surprising about it, other than the orange god kicked a senile old man all over the fucking car park. Like, he proper gave him a good shoeing, then grabbed the trophy and headed back to Air Force One, triumphant. He definitely beat him. And you know what's funny about this? I've looked at 2 polls today, and they both said Biden won easy. So they're all living in an alternate reality. My missus watched it with 2 of her mates, and all 3 of them are Democrats, and all 3 of them said Trump definitely won that. Definitely. He was more aggressive. He stayed on topic a lot better. He was quite humorous at times. He looked a bit more relaxed. Biden doesn't know where he is. He looks as confused as a small child with Down syndrome trapped in a hedge maze, right? That's how confused he looks. Like, what the fuck's going on? I have no idea. So let's look at the BBC's bollocks fucking fictional version of events. The mute button, or at least the threat of it, seemed to work. In the second presidential debate, Trump and Biden were more restrained. Well, that's true. The candidates allowed each other to speak. They used more respectful tones. Even when they went on the attack, they did so in a calmer, more deliberate manner. Alright, well, that's not bad for the BBC, is it? After a pugnacious first debate, during which Donald Trump's constant interruptions may have cost him support in subsequent opinion polls, the president was very visibly dialed down the volume, and it made him a much more effective debater. This time, the content of what the candidates are saying might be what the American public remembers from the debate, not the chaotic manner in which it was delivered. Alright, surprisingly fair and balanced there for the BBC, wasn't it? Once again, Biden largely held up under fire. Well, alright, now we're wandering off into fucking LSD street. Right? Fucking BBC. Avoiding the kind of gaffes and stumbles that could have played into Republican attempts to question his age and mental acuity. Well, is anybody questioning it at this point? He is. See, he's definitely lost the plot, that old bastard. He hasn't got a clue what's going on. Oh yeah, before I start, because I always forget, hit the like button, you tight bastards. It's free. Where was I? Oh yeah. The Trump campaign will try to make an issue out of Biden's call for a transition from oil-based energy, a risky thing to throw in at the tail end of the debate. In the era of hybrid cars and energy-efficient homes, however, when even petroleum companies employ similar language, it may not hit Americans as hard as Republicans imagine. Well, I'll stop you there. When you start telling people that you're going to fucking get rid of the oil industry, and you've got places like Texas. In fact, it's not even just Texas now. America is, for the first time ever, energy independent. There are a dozen states in the United States that have a fucking oil industry. So if you start basically telling them, you lads are all going on the dole very, very soon, you best give your fucking head a good shake if you don't think that's going to affect his polling chances. If you don't think that's going to affect him in the polls. Holy shit. You might as well tell people, you are all going on the dole. Stock up on gruel and rainwater, because that's all you're feeding the kids for the next 10 years. Because in the end, the raucous first debate probably will be what the history books remember, with polls showing most Americans have already made up their minds and more than 45 million have already voted. The chance that this evening has a lasting impact on the race seems slim. Yeah, that's true. COVID takes centre stage. The Trump campaign complained that the debate was supposed to be focused on foreign policy, perhaps allowing the president to tout what he sees as his accomplishments. You know, it doesn't matter what planet you're living on. They aren't just what he sees as his accomplishments. On foreign affairs, he's done fantastic. Let's just have that said. Yeah, he's got his flaws, and there's things he's fucked up on. Of course he has, and he could have done a lot better with COVID response. But, like, on foreign policy, he has been absolutely superb. Superb. They said we were going to be at war by now. How many times did they say World War III? Fucking hell, World War III. Trump's a madman. We're all going to die. Even though it's the fucking Democrats and Republicans, the career politicians that have launched us into war after war after war. The necky bastards with the neck of 1,000 giraffes. They're all saying, oh yeah, Trump, take us into war. World War III, kill everyone. Instead, he's done fucking fantastic. He's got the Middle East talking, trading with Syria. He did really well. So it's not what he sees as his accomplishments. By any objective metric, no matter who you are and where you're from, you have to say, did well on North Korea, did well with China, Definitely did well with the Middle East and Syria. Amazingly well. No new wars. What have we got to complain about? So you're living in cloud cuckoo land if you think it's merely what he sees as an accomplishment. Who have we bombed? Who have we gone to war with? How are we getting on with North Korea? What's the crack with Syria? Think about it. You can't criticise him on foreign policy. No fucking way. It's like criticising George Best for not drinking enough. That's what that's like doing. You really couldn't. It couldn't have gone better for him on foreign policy. So that's fucking bullshit. Anyway, moving on. Instead, like earlier debates, it started on the coronavirus pandemic, a topic the American public cares about most, polls suggest. Yeah, well, he's vulnerable there. But again, Trump did all right, I think. I think as someone like fellow lockdown skeptics, I'm sure most of my viewers are, I think he was to the point and he just said, listen, look after the our people, everybody else get on with your fucking lives. Totally agree with him, 100%. So fuck Joe Biden. In the back and forth, he continued to offer hope that things were getting better. When Trump said that people were learning to live with it, Biden pounced. People are learning to live with it. People are learning to die with it. Ridiculous. Hyperbolic. Fucking nonsense. People that die with it are older than the average age anyway. And considering America's the fattest country on earth, I mean, I'm amazed that Britain's worse than them, to be honest. It shows how bad we're doing. But you don't see the British public lining up to fucking burn down the Houses of Parliament. So it's a bit weird how they're trying to make it like Trump fucking as if he knocked it up himself in a fucking lab. As for the Hunter Biden thing, the BBC tried to fucking play it down, but we all know that that is a big deal. That is a smoking gun. Biden is a corrupt, dirty politician that's been taking bribes for fucking years. His brother got rich in construction. His family's got hundreds of millions of dollars off the taxpayers. His son is rank. He is a stereotypical corrupt politician. And the fact that Biden's defence was a blanket denial just shows how much of a lying bastard he is. Yeah, Trump tells lies, but what do you think Biden doesn't? They both tell lies, but one of them panders to communists. That's fucking that. The immigration stuff was fucking easily solved. Separating the children from the parents, for example. Trump tried to turn the conversation to the detention facilities, cages, created by the Obama administration. Well, which is again true, right? And then Biden flashing indignation, even though it happened for 8 years while he was in charge. Like, it really is laughable. Said the kids Trump was detaining came over with the parents. They didn't, Joe. They didn't. And it's a documented fact that thousands of them were fucking kidnapped by fucking people traffickers because the stupid government said, oh yeah, if people have got kids with them, we'll go easy on them. So they just started fucking, be at the petrol station and you go, oh look, a random child. Get a little cunt here. Stuff him in the back. Again, a child could see what was going to fucking happen. Normal people like you and me could see what's going to happen. But the fucking imbeciles that run things, they thought that was a good idea. Well, but we can't complain, can we? When we've got the likes of Diane fucking Abacus in charge in the UK for decades, it proves that our politicians across the world are just I think every country in the Western world is just rank and corrupt. It's all nepotism, cronyism, and fucking stupidity. Anyway, moving on. Trump finds his footing on criminal justice. No fucking shit. How can he lose on that? How can he lose on that? They've been going easy on fucking rioters smashing the shit out of Seattle and Portland for months. How can he lose on that? And I totally agree with him when he said that. It's all talk, but no action with these politicians. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years to get it done. Yeah, because Biden's been in fucking politics for 40 years, and now he's telling us all, oh yeah, I'll get it done. Yeah, I'll get it done. 40 fucking years. When you going to start? He's been in politics longer than I've been alive, and now he's talking about, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You useless old twat have done fuck all. Now you've got a prostate the size of a basketball. All of a sudden you said you're going to get some work done. You need to fucking retire, you silly old bastard. It says anyone who lived through the tough-on-crime 1990s in the US would probably be shocked by this debate exchange when both candidates talked about the number of felons to whom they gave clemency in their efforts at reducing the number of incarcerated Americans. As the mass demonstrations against institutional racism demonstrated earlier this year, their times have changed. They weren't mass demonstrations against institutional racism. They were a communist rabble worked into a frenzy by postmodernist academics and Marxists, trained Marxists to use their own fucking words. They didn't know what they were marching for, they were wrecking shit and they didn't have a clue. So it's all bollocks. The BBC's, as usual, just presenting one side of the argument. Half facts. And as for the fucking fact-checking bit, they did 10 claims fact-checked. And they said this was misleading when he said 2.2 million people modelled out were expected to die. It's not misleading. It was mentioned in a study published by Imperial College London, so what's fucking misleading about it? What's misleading about it? That's what they said. They try and go, oh yeah, no, that's not what was expected. That's just what we thought was going to happen if we didn't do anything. Yeah, and it's all been proven to be completely bollocks. That Neil Ferger twat is fucking modelling. It's been proven to be total shit. He couldn't find his arsehole with both hands, that useless cunt. And they're calling it misleading. I can't believe that man is still employed by anybody. I wouldn't trust him to work as a fucking bus conductor. It's unbelievable. And when he said that, they did it. We changed the policy. They built the cages. It said, this needs context. What do you mean this needs context? When you're fact-checking something, you say, true or false, don't you? True or false. You don't go, this needs context. It's like Twitter saying you need context when they're fucking censoring people for no reason. It's still censorship. We don't care about the context. You're taking the piss. Context is irrelevant. Censoring people, stomping on their rights, telling them what they can do and who they can listen to. There is no context that makes it look good. So just do a fact check, true or false. Fuck off context. I don't care. And look at that one, Biden. I have never said I oppose fracking. 100% he has. I mean, I've seen him on video saying, yes, we are definitely getting rid of fracking. And he said, no, I never said I opposed it.
No new fracking.
We are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
Well, like what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping new pipe?
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate.
No ability for the...
Fuck me, do I need to go on? Do I need to go on? Really? Oh, he has to clarify some statements. Fuck, what do you mean? Verdict? You lying owl twat. What about that for a verdict? Christ almighty. So yeah, BBC, absolute shit, as you might expect. Total fucking nonsense. Couldn't lie straight in bed. Listen, it boils down to a very simple thing, doesn't it? Both of them tell lies. Both of them are self-serving. But one of them is enthralled to insane communist ideologues, one of which looks like she could eat an apple through a tennis racket, and one isn't. One of them made all his money by himself in the private sector, and one of them has enriched himself by sucking on the public tit for 40 fucking years. Yeah? It's quite simple, isn't it? Both lie, both annoying in their own way, both self-serving, both give money to the family. But one of them made his money in the private sector on his own, or got it off his dad. And one of them takes bribes off China and leeches millions of dollars off the general public. Is that a difficult choice? I don't fucking think so.